knows me before, and I just want to say, San Francisco for Democracy was the first endorsement I ever got. And so thank you very much for being a continued supporter. I hope you'll support me this time. I think most of you know I'm a first generation San Francisco Chinese American. My great-grandfather came here in the late 1800s and started the first Chinese produce business in San Francisco's Chinatown. I lived in the Richmond district, the district in which I'm running for over 50 years. My husband and I both have lived there for over 50 years. I was born at the Chinese Hospital in 1959. I moved out to 16th Avenue. Did a stint over in the Sunset for a little bit, and then a little bit over in Oakland, and then came back. And so my husband and I actually attended the public schools there, and our 3 children attended public schools there also. I was a PTA president for 12 terms. An early part of my married life, I was just raising children, and I was a stay-at-home mom. And so I was very active in the schools, 11 school site councils. I probably was the carnival queen for all the schools. At the objection of my husband, but anyway, so really involved in my neighborhood. And then in 2001, I went to go work for Coleman Advocates for Children and Youth. And there I was a director of parent organizing, and we worked on education equity and affordable family housing. We helped to craft the first ever education equity platform for San Francisco Public Schools. In 2008, I ran for the school board. And then in 2012, I was reelected. Some of the things I've done on the school board that I'm fairly proud of is I helped to craft the first local hire policy for San Francisco Public Schools. Also instituted ethnic studies into every high school in San Francisco, as well as an LGBTQ history class. And those classes are actually eligible for entrance into a CSU or a UC. I also helped to broker the deal to sell some of our surplus property to the Mayor's Office of Housing. When I got onto the Buildings and Grounds Committee, there was a proposal to sell the piece of property at 1915 Mission to private developers to build 130 market rate condos. I immediately organized, and when you're an organizer, you kind of freak out, and then you kind of just get to work and try to organize as many people as you can, and organizations were able to stop that and sell that piece of property to the Mayor's Office of Housing. It is now slated for 152 units of permanently affordable family housing. I think that my years on the school board have really taught me a lot about setting policy, and how policy affects actually everyday San Franciscans who are so dependent on these systems to serve them and their families. I am running for supervisor because I think this is a very important year in November. At San Francisco also, for San Francisco, but also for California and for the nation. San Francisco is a very important place, not just for San Franciscans, but for Californians and for the rest of the nation. We were the first to set aside 3% of our general fund to serve just children, youth, and families. They said that was political suicide. It passed, and then other cities followed. We were first to mirror LGBT people, and then they said we were crazy, and then everyone else followed. We had our protests at San Francisco State. We had the hippie movement here. We've had the beatniks. We've had movements here that have started movements across the United States. It is this unique, I think, bringing together of idealism and humanity that actually is not ever run by money or capitalism, but really run by just a fostering a sense of a better place to live for everyone. We care about the people who serve us here in San Francisco, and that's why we have Healthy San Francisco. We care about their children, and that's why so many of our bonds are also always approved by San Franciscans for our public schools. This is a community that cares deeply about people and not just about money. I just want to say, we have always had millionaires here. We have always had billionaires here, but we have never had this. And I am talking about a wealth gap that is unprecedented in San Francisco. When we can no longer hire teachers, when we can no longer hire the people that sell us our groceries, or sell us our clothes, or put out our fires, or take care of us when we're ill, then we're in trouble as a community. And so I just think the last 4 years, we have been very generous to very high wage earners. We have built homes for them. We have built restaurants and entertainment centers for them, and we have even given them the homes of people that are lower wage earners. Now for the next 4 years, it's time that we reinvest in communities and in low wage and moderate wage earners in San Francisco. Thank you. I'm open to any questions.